This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
So I'm making this video because I feel like it is taking out two projects at the same time, and what it is it's a collection overview as well as my memories that I have with the PlayStation Vita. So today is February 15th. And today is the Vita's birthday of its North American release, not its Japanese release. But I figure I make this video because this is a video I've never done before. I never showcased my PS Vita collection at all. As some of you might know from previous videos, I wasn't big on portable gaming. When I first got my Nintendo Switch, I told you guys that I kept it docked most of the time because I didn't really enjoy portable gaming as much. It's weird though because as a kid I did have a Game Boy. I did also have the Sega Game Gear, and I had things like a DS and a Game Boy Advance. I did have portable consoles when I was a kid, but I much preferred playing my video games on the television. I was more of a couch potato when I was a kid. I like sitting on a couch, just me and my friends playing video games. I wasn't much of a portable kid, even though I had portable consoles. But I think that as I played more games, I think the PlayStation Vita was the console that really changed that perception of, how I felt about portable games. Even though I got the PS Vita when I was, much older than when I initially got into portable games, I really, really did enjoy the PlayStation Vita for some reason. And I believe that it was because it was the right time, and it was the right, I guess, gaming mindset that I was in. At this time when I got the Vita, I was really debating on getting it, mostly because I guess it's because I was rotating out of playing mainstream games because I was starting to realize that they were letting me down significantly. And I didn't want to play AAA titles. Well, I wouldn't say I didn't want to play them. It was more or less one of those things where you constantly get let down, so your confidence in that medium is starting to wane. And with that, I just started to take a step back. And it wasn't until I saw the Japanese commercial for PlayStation 4's new feature with the Vita. I don't remember. I think it was called Quick Play. It was the one where you can play your PlayStation 4 at your Vita and your Vita connected to your PlayStation 4. And I remember seeing the Japanese commercial for that. And I think after I saw that commercial, the Vita just looked like so much more fun than I had initially anticipated. When I got the Vita, finally, I had a blast with it. I was playing a lot of games, even though we weren't getting much games in the US for the PlayStation Vita. I paid more attention to the Japanese market. A lot of people who wasn't really paying much attention to the PlayStation Vita looked at the Vita as a failed console, and I beg to differ. I think that the Vita was very successful depending on which market you were paying attention to. As for the US market, yeah, it failed. It failed hard. But because I was transitioning into becoming more of a niche gamer, even a niche collector, I wasn't paying much attention to the market in the US. I was paying more attention to the market in Japan. I started buying more things from PlayAsia, Sudagaya, Super Potato. I was buying all my games from there. occasionally I would walk inside of GameStop, or I'll pre-order something from AmiAmi, or maybe if it was Iffy, Idea Factory, or even sometimes it was Marvelous. I was pre-ordering my games, or Xseed, I guess they were called. I was buying all my titles from there, and I was having so much fun. The Vita even allowed me to change my perspective on visual novels. I didn't want to get into visual novels because, from my perspective, they were just books that you read in the palm of your hand, but it was almost like a controller. I wasn't really into it. That changed when I got my copy of Deathmark. Deathmark really changed my perception on what visual novels could be. After I got that, then I got my hands on Tokyo, I think it was called Tokyo Ghost Hunters. Got my hands on that and enjoyed that considerably. I really, really liked that game. It was kind of like Ghostbusters, but with a strategic, kind of gameplay system, and I really, really enjoyed it. But the PlayStation Vita really, I can say, molded the gamer that I am today. I'm more open nowadays to trying new things. I'm more open to experimentation when it comes to genres, and the Vita is to thank for that. Luckily, I even got my hands on the Vita TV. I wasn't really planning on getting a Vita TV until I saw the price drop when I got my first one. I got my first one at a GameStop for around $40. And just recently, I needed an extra one because my previous one was malfunctioning. And my good friend Larry sold me his with a bunch of other games, still boxed. And he sold it for me for considerably cheap. He sold it to me for about $50. And he knew how much I loved the Vita TV, so he gave it to me at a bro price. And I love my good friend for that, because he knows how much I love the Vita TV. But with the Vita TV coming out, it allowed me to enjoy my Vita games. If I didn't want to be in the mood to play anything portable, I can always play it on the Vita TV. Even to this day, I have the Vita TV hooked up to my television, and I still play it to this day. And it's a shame because the Vita wasn't a bad console. It was very fun. It tried to cater to a market that didn't want that specific thing catered to. I think that the Vita should have been catered to a niche market. And I think that Sony sort of overvalued the Vita. They overproduced it too. That's why it failed, is because they produced so much and thought everybody was going to get one, and that's not the case that happened. I think they should have went the route of testing the waters and see how it goes, and then if it sells out, then you make more kind of thing. But that didn't happen, and ultimately the Vita did fail here. But some people, especially collectors of the Vita, will say otherwise. I'm one of those people. I don't think it failed. I think it did exactly what it was supposed to do. It took a community, molded it, and it turned it into a very niche community. I think if their numbers were different in terms of manufacturing and producing, I think that the Vita would have been more successful, and it would probably still be around today and still have games made for it. But luckily there are a couple of sellers out there that are making games for the Vita, or still, I would say, promoting games for the Vita. Like PlayAsia still sells some games for the Vita, brand new games. I think they're done with their last game that came out, but it's been an interesting ride, to say the least, watching the Vita mold itself into this hyper legacy rare kind of thing that it is. I don't think that the Vita is very rare. I think it's very nostalgic for it being not that old. I think it's about, what, 8 years old now? Man, looking back on this thing, it's quite refreshing. Happy birthday, Vita.